Hello and welcome back with another Star Trek Discovery episode reaction. Today we're going to talk about the fourth episode that came out just yesterday, and I happened to watch it this afternoon because of the time difference. This episode was actually really interesting. When I started to watch the episode, I felt like at the really beginning when Captain Lorca told to Michael, like, okay, you have to train this creature, I was like, hang on, that's actually quite familiar. If you remember the Alien movies, Alien 4 was actually the episode when they captured these creatures and they captured the xenomorphs and they tried to teach for military purposes, and basically that was Captain Lorca wanted to do with this creature. So I was like, well, that sounds familiar. As Michael being assigned to this project and to try to turn this creature to a dangerous, deadly weapon, but she found out there's a connection between the creature and the spores that they actually store in the ship, and that's the base of the spore hub drive. The episode itself was great. I really enjoyed watching it, and actually I felt really excited about the whole episode. For me, this one really felt like it's Discovery, nothing else, really. So the more I watched Discovery, the more I started to like it, and I had a grin in my face at some point, but I had a smile in my face at some point. So Star Trek Discovery really started to get me to the way when I will actually be fully engaged with the series. I mean, I'm watching it and I'm checking the details and stuff, but the full engagement with the series is getting better and better and better. And it really feels like it's getting to its own place. So I'm honestly looking forward to what's gonna happen next. A couple of things that I really enjoyed in this episode. First off, I really enjoyed that little balance between Saru and Michael Burnham. It was interesting how actually in the previous episode they had a really optimistic and friendly approach to each other, but in this episode Saru was surprised and was like, I didn't expect you to be here, so why are you here? Because I was just looking hypothetically. And then Michael said, okay, I've got a chance from the captain and I took it, and I want to make a difference. And it's really interesting how she still felt obligated to actually do something. There's another interesting thing that actually came back from the past is the box, the delivery that she got from Captain Georgiou, her last villain testament. And again, that reflected on her side and her emotional situation, her dealing with the loss of her friend. Obviously at the end we saw Captain Georgiou's holographic message. It was a really interesting and touching part, how actually Georgiou said to Burnham, okay, I hope you have your own ship now, and I hope everything is fine with you, and I really want to give you something this is something that I want you to have in the case if I won't be around. I really love Captain Georgiou's character, and I wish she could have actually been around for a long time, but actually having Captain Georgiou deceased and Captain Lorca is on the ship makes an interesting difference as well, because in this case it would be too ideal, too optimistic if we have like a character in the bridge like Captain Georgiou and everything is so happy and stuff. But as long as we talk about Captain Lorca's character is, well, something different. The much I like him, the much I hate him as well, because he's just like a military person, and he doesn't really care about who has obligations or who has objections about his methods and his thinking, his way of thinking. He just wants to get the job done. He wants to win this war, and he determined. And he's a really pissed off captain. He's a really badass captain. He's honestly, I don't think I saw anyone like this previously in the Star Trek universe. Maybe there were, obviously, because the Star Trek universe was, as we talked about it yesterday, and I'm pretty sure there being captains like Captain Lorca under the Dominion War, even with the crisis with the Romulans. So it's really cool to have someone in this position and to see this side as well of Star Trek. The one thing that actually made me laugh, but then I was like, what the heck is going on? Commander Landry, she died. It's like, what the hell? She died. It just doesn't make any sense. They announced her as a tactical officer and the chief security officer of Discovery, and then she died because of the stupid act. It feels like Discovery gonna be like the series that they're gonna kill off the characters and they're gonna come back as flashbacks in certain ways and certain points of the series. So good lord. Obviously the other side of the story was the Klingons. We got to see Cole and L'Rell and the Kugma ships, and the whole, they tried to save the ship and they tried to get back to war and to try to unite the houses. And then Cole arrives, and then the whole situation is just changed because the ship crewmates basically betrayed Walk, because they got food, and if they're starving, they just changed counterparts. So that was a really interesting balance between Walk and L'Rell. I felt there's going to be something there, romantically speaking. There was a moment that I rarely came across with Klingons, so I think it will be really interesting to see where these two characters will end up in the course of the series. All the actors were brilliant in this episode. I really liked the acting of Saru and even Stamets. I thought he's just a microbiologist, a fungus expert, a mushroom guy, but as it turned out, maybe he's the main engineer as well of the ship, so it's quite interesting to call him a fungus guy and then he's the main engineer as well, or maybe there's another engineer as well, but it feels like he's the engineer person in the ship. He's the main engineer in the ship. Obviously we got to see the Doctor as well. He reminded me a little bit of Dr. McCoy from the original series, so I think there's gonna be quite a few pretty good stuff there. So overall the episode was really cool. Really enjoyed the directorial method as well, how they actually show the Klingons and how they actually show the Federation situation with Discovery, and you know how everything jumped back and forth between the Klingons and the Discovery. Honestly, the episode was really well built. The theme tune started to get to me. I'm still not overly happy with the intro itself. It could have been more like, you know, space opera thing, but I guess that's what it is now. So the music is getting better for me. So I'm getting more acceptant to Discovery itself. And this is actually interesting because, you know, every time when a new Star Trek series is coming out, we have always had our, you know, concerns, and it's like, oh, this is not like that before. But then over the, you know, watching it and talking about it and thinking about it, it becomes that familiar thing that we always knew. So I think finally I can say, Discovery, welcome home. So that was my little episode reaction for the 4th episode of Star Trek Discovery. So please let me know in the comment section below what did you think about this episode of the last Star Trek Discovery episode, and please also let me know what was your favorite or least favorite moment in this episode. As always, please don't forget to like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to receive all the geekiness every week. And until next time, live long and prosper.